Legends, hello. Joey here from the Ruck Report. This is our latest episode for our Instagram Live. If you are tuning in for the first time, it's our review show where we go through each game and we talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and where we could go from here. If you do hear my voice, I'm sorry if I'm talking a bit funny. I do have some ulcers this week, so my voice at the moment is a bit. I look a bit up this end. So, yeah, really sorry if you are tuning in for the first time, and if I make some faces tonight, it's just because I'm in a bit of pain. I'm just trying to deal with that. So, I'll just invite our mate Boxy will be joining us as well. So let's quickly send this invite to Boxy. I hope everyone had a fantastic week. It's been a week of sickness in my house, which is never fun. So with the week of sickness has been, the kids have been sick. I haven't been too well as well. So we're all on the back end. Hopefully, now a week of rugby league is done and we get straight back into it. Shout out to everyone who has jumped in so far. Migo Fan for Army, Brielle, Mick Makes Art, Vintage Lane Clothing. Shout out to Vintage Lane Clothing as well for this awesome Australia jersey. As you can see, rocking this, he did drop this off to me tonight. So big shout out. Head over there and check it out. Some awesome clothing. Here he is, the man himself, Big Box. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How you going?
Yeah, really good. Just talking about this awesome Australia jersey that I got today from Vintage Lane Clothing, a good friend of the podcast. So he's sent this through. So wearing this tonight, but yeah, let's get straight into it. We'll go into from Friday night footy. Of course, the NRLW is back as well now, guys. So that's been on all weekend as well, and some fantastic footy to watch there. I'm sorry if you are tuning in for the first time, and I sound a bit funny. I do have ulcers in my mouth, so I do have ulcers all week, so I'm talking a bit funny at the moment. If I do make some funny faces, just bear with me. I'm just dealing with the voice at the moment. So. Sorry, if we jump back right into sorry about that. Friday night footy, we had the Bulldogs against the Broncos, mate. What a fantastic game this was. Look, a lot of people expected the Bulldogs to come back, get it done after losing to Penrith, but
Mm.
again, the night curse for the Bulldogs just continued. They lost to the Bronx.
Yeah. They played a really good game, or good half. That's
Mm,
about it. The Bronx just again consistently they're turning it on at the right time of the year, and
yeah.
it's actually been really good to see because I think the Bronx are a smoky. They're definitely a smoky. So
Mm.
I don't think they get the credit they deserve. But to beat a Bulldogs outfit with really not losing a lot of stars out of Origin, it's a really good
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. Oh, considering who the Broncos, like the Broncos had no Haas, no Carrigan, no Walsh, no Shibasaki.
Mm.
And then Dogs just had no Crichton, no King, and no Carraz. So so it wasn't too bad there. But yeah, look, credit to the Broncos, they did really well. A couple of questions coming in already. Please get your questions in. We really appreciate that, guys. First one from Hazard 8801. He said, "What do you think on the tackle to injured Brendan Smith again today?" Yeah, it's a tough one. He's just come back from an MCL and then he's done his MCL again, 6 to 8 weeks. Look, you know, I won't say that's what happens when you leave the Roosters, but it is. I do feel for Brendan. I do, because he's not a bad player. He's a very good guy, and he's just come back. And you want to see these players playing well, but yeah, look, the injury didn't look too good. Mate, Boxy, we'll send this one to you, mate.
Yep.
Luke Melbourne Storm fan said, as a Queensland Maroons fan, I'm shocked about Munster's dad passing. Can you talk us through that?
It's one of those things where like you can't control what happens in life.
Yeah,
It's one of those things. It's very sad. It's very sad because as you know, Cam Munster's been a staple of the Australian and Queensland teams for a long time now.
yeah,
He obviously he's gone through a very tragic time in his life. Like you don't wish that on anyone. Um, do I think it could be fuel for Wednesday night? It could be. Like you don't know, but
yeah,
I think the main thing right now as a rugby league fan and a rugby league community is that everyone just needs to get around him. It's a very tragic time, and
yeah, for sure.
I just feel for him. I feel for him because I know if I lost my dad, I'd be absolutely in shambles. And you
Well,
know better than anyone that I'm very close to my dad, and
yeah,
it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, that's life. But I'm hoping that Cam's got the right people around him,
Mm.
and that it's just one of those things where everyone can just realise that life is life. It's just one of those things.
I think credit to the Queensland team for all being there as well for Billy's press
Yeah,
conference.
absolutely, absolutely.
I thought that was a really, really good look from the team.
Yeah,
Really good to see them all standing there with Billy as they spoke through it. So fantastic stuff. But let's get back into some rugby league now. Our Sorry about that. Excuse me, everyone. Our first Saturday game. We had two yesterday. Some fantastic games there. Now, our first game. Uh, we'll save yours till second, mate. But it was the Raiders against the Dragons. Now, Raiders getting it done. I think we were expecting a bit more from the Raiders. The Dragons actually came back in style.
yeah, they did. They played a really good game, and I think one thing as someone who's been a sporting guy their whole life, the fuel that has been given to the Dragons at the moment with the Flanagan situation has been absolutely it's a fuel of the flyer.
Mm.
And I think the Raiders were shocked. I think they were genuinely shocked that the Dragons have that potential to be able to be one of those teams.
Yeah,
Um, and I think the Raiders can sit there and go, okay, we've got a team here now sitting outside the top eight who are threatening us and challenging us to a point where we almost lose. So that's a kick up the arse to them.
yeah,
But
for
it's
sure.
also credit to the Dragons that they're willing to fight. They're willing to go. They're willing to do what they need to do.
Yeah, KO Weeks looked incredible again. A couple of tries for him. The speed that he possesses is amazing. But this Raiders outfit, look, they get another win. They're now sitting outright first with the Bulldogs losing. So
Yep.
if they can hold the spot, it'll be their first minor premiership since the '90s. So it'll be pretty incredible.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, be great to see. Yeah, the Dragons. I feel a little bit for Kyle. I don't think he deserved all the boos that he was getting
Yeah.
from the crowd. He's not a bad halfback, and he actually probably got the Dragons back into that second half a little bit. So I thought he wasn't too bad. I like that Ricky Stewart actually stood up for him in the press conference. I thought that was really, really big of Ricky as well. But yeah, not really much to add from this game. But let's jump into our next game. Of course, Boxy, your Cowboys taking on the Melbourne Storm now.
Yep.
On paper, everyone looks at this game and says, "Oh, Storm by plenty, Storm 13 plus." But it wasn't like that. Melbourne, for some reason this year, they can't take the next step to win games 13 plus. It looks like they might, and then they have a couple of errors creep into their game. But mate, what did you think of this match?
Oh, I think the Melbourne Storm aren't as good as what they think they are.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Melbourne Storm, they're a consistent team. They always have been. They're always going to be a consistent team. But I think the Cowboys, and a lot of people sit on us and sit there and go, we're one of those fringe teams.
Mm.
But when we're on, we're on. We
Yeah, for
play
sure.
really, really well. And we've got a lot of guys out with Origin. We've got Dearden, we've got Cotter. Tuolagi's actually back in this week. But
Nanai was out.
Nanai's back.
Robson.
Like we've got the ability to be one of those teams. The problem is we aren't executing. And
Yeah.
when Melbourne Storm don't execute, that's when we look good. And it's the same with any team who's in the competition.
Yeah.
I just think the Melbourne Storm aren't as good as what they are. I think a lot of teams have surpassed them now. Canberra, the
Yeah.
Bulldogs, even the Dolphins at the moment are playing better football than what the Storm are. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I sit there and just go, okay, are the Storm the real deal or are they not the real deal?
It's definitely scrappy for Melbourne this year, and we sort of talk about the spray that the players are going to cop from Bellamy every week, and it
Mm.
seems like they're going to get more and more. But look, I thought it was a really good game. I thought Drinkwater was great as he always is.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm loving Try July at the moment. I love Nick Meaney's celebration, and I loved Nelson Asofa Solomona's celebration as well. Excuse me on the burp, but. Try July has been awesome. Please put your comments in as well. We'll answer any comments as we go. Hazard 8801 said the tackle to injured Brendan Smith was for sure a hit drop, and the ref didn't even give a penalty, so the judiciary better do something. Yeah, mate, it's a hard one. They haven't really been big on hip drops this year. They had a real crackdown on it probably a year ago or so. This year they haven't really been cracking down on hip drops too much. It's really frustrating as a fan when you see something like that, and you know yourself as a fan that it is a penalty, but the ref isn't calling it. It's really tough. I mean, unfortunately, mate, not much I can tell you. If they didn't see it as a hip drop, I don't think judiciary will either.
Yeah,
But let's jump into some Sunday footy now. This one hurts. Tigers Roosters today. Tigers getting it done 30-28. Now, mate, I don't know what I witnessed in this game. So let's first go off. So obviously, Tigers had no Luai, no Coruscant, no Buller. And then obviously they got rid of De Silva during the week.
yeah,
And then Roosters had no Liu, no Watson, no Crichton, no Collins, no Toya, and then Billy Smith got injured before the game. So both teams were undermanned. Both teams didn't have their stars as per se.
mm,
Um, but the credit to the Tigers. Credit to the Tigers. They really matched the Roosters early in this game. Got out to a 20-0 lead, and I think that sort of blew the Roosters out because
yeah,
after that 20-0 lead, the Tigers weren't great. They only scored one try in the second half and a penalty goal, and then Roosters came back. But mate, it was more that first half. But I was really impressed with the attitude that they showed in defence. Some of those big players on the big Roosters forwards.
yeah. Absolutely. I think it was good for the Tigers, especially after all the drama happened this week with Talon De Silva and
Yeah,
Benji having that supposed fallout with
yeah,
Adam Dewey and all that sort of crap. I think it's a really great showing that the Tigers are maturing.
yeah.
And without all those players, like you just said, Buller, Luai,
Mm.
Crichton, not Crichton, sorry,
Coruscant.
Coruscant. Then you
Yeah,
got Collins, Watson, all
yeah,
those guys, Lenu. It's a really great showing to show to the Tigers fans that there is some light there,
yeah,
and to beat a quality team who's a solid chance for top four in the Roosters.
yeah.
Although they only played a half, they were still able to hold on defensively and make
Mm.
sure that they got the win, and that's really good for them and for our fellow Ruck and Freshman guy Lukey. I'm sure he's pretty happy right now.
Yeah, he
But
was. He made sure he messaged me straight away. Said I'd be wearing his robe tomorrow if he was on the episode. But man, I don't know where that robe's been, so I don't know if I want to wear
yeah, no, I don't think anyone wants to wear that. It'd be a bit sticky.
it. But mate, I think the big thing for Tigers fans in this one is that they'd lost six in a row heading into this game, so they were pretty desperate for the win.
Yeah,
Now, if there's any Tigers fans who are listening in, please let us know the feeling that you got. Obviously, started the season red hot, and the Tigers looked like a completely improved side. Six losses, and I think everyone expected this as a loss too because the Roosters are the Tigers' bogey team. The last win that the Tigers had against the Roosters was 2018, and then before that it was 2011. So they've beaten them, I think, twice in 15 years,
yeah,
and they've only scored 4 points in the past four games against the Roosters. So, look, credit to the Tigers; they played really well. Harold May against his former club, he was really good.
yep,
Some of the young Rooster boys. It's great to see Lasalu running around off the bench. Fiketti is fantastic as well. Young Tom Rodwell. He couldn't get over the line, but they threw him the ball about four or five times. And he got close every time. But
yep.
mate, Mark Nwangani Tawase, two tries. The guy's such a freak.
He's gifted. He's a
Oh,
very gifted athlete, but he's a very gifted footballer.
he's only 24.
He's one of those guys where you can throw him in any code.
Yeah,
Like if AFL years ago, when they did the Israel Flower and Carmichael Hunt thing, if they had a
yeah.
mark, I can't say his last name. I'm not even going to try. Naka Waka Mana Motherfather.
That'll do.
I don't know, but if he was in the AFL system that long ago, he would be one of the best players in the competition. He's
Yeah, for
so
sure.
gifted in anything he does. And it's a credit to the Roosters organisation to be able to notice a talent like that and move him into the rugby league. And actually, he's been probably one of the most consistent performers for the Roosters this year.
Yeah, and he's actually still eligible for Rookie of the Year because he's only played 15 games. So
Yeah,
could be a sneaky chance there as well. Shout out to good mate Dion Redding who wrote up the Tigers. Good to see you, Dion. Hope you're well, mate. Let's jump into our final game, of course, Manly versus the Rabbitohs. Manly getting it done, 4 Pines Park, Sunday afternoon. What more could you ask for? Look, I thought Manly were really good early, and obviously they were at a 14-0 lead. They looked like they were gonna put 50 points on them. They did take the foot off the gas a bit, but South Sydney, mate, they just look so underwhelming at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They're in complete shambles. There's no guidance. There's no structure there. They have been
No.
ravaged with injuries,
Yeah.
which you can't help that. But that's why you've got such a long list to
Yeah.
have people
Sure.
there to be there for the depth. I think Wayne Bennett is an absolute fucking idiot for taking that role. As a Queensland fan and a Queenslander myself, I think it was a very poor decision. But I think there's no easy fix with the Rabbitohs at the moment. And
Yeah.
unfortunately for Brandon Smith, he's been injured again. So there's another injury on top of what they've got already. The Rabbitohs are, yeah, they're going to be struggling a lot this year. But knowing them, they could bounce back next year and be first. You don't know. It's
Yeah.
one of those things.
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, Brendan Smith played his first game for the Bunnies. He did his MCL again, which is not great to see. The Rabbitohs, they obviously welcome back Latrell soon and some other players as well. So, obviously injury ravaged at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that's interesting, AJ not scoring a try. We're trying to get him to get this record, but it seems to be saving it for round 27 against the Roosters, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah, that'd be a smart thing to do. Fuck the Roosters.
he's
But
he, he's
no,
not scoring
AJ,
them.
he's one of the greatest wingers of all time.
Oh,
Like
for
he's never
sure.
got the accolades or the Origin representatives or anything like that. But he's one of those guys where you can plug and play and just go, I know what I'm going to get from you,
Yeah,
and that's what I need in this team. And
yeah,
hopefully
exactly.
he does get it very soon. Hopefully before round 27 against the
Mm,
Roosters. But he's a credit to the game.
yeah.
He's a fantastic player and a fantastic role model to anyone who's coming through the system.
Yeah, absolutely. Finish off on a few questions here. Luke Melbourne Storm fan said, "I was happy on the Storm win with our state of origin players out." Yeah, mate. Look, great to get the win without origin players. We just thought it was a little bit scrappy for Melbourne. That is our only comment at the moment. Hazard did say the Broncos game, if I remember right, there was a kick down the wing. Chaser was taken out. Could have been a sin bin. Yeah, mate. Look, too much for me to look into. I think it's really hard. Oh, he wrote so many questionable referee decisions. Another one near the end of the Broncos game where the kick chase was taken out. Mate, it's really hard in this day and age of rugby league because the refereeing it's not consistent, and we speak about this every week. We know it's not consistent, and unfortunately, we're just at a point where we have to live with it. We have to live with the 50-50 calls, and it's so frustrating as a fan. I get it. It's so frustrating as a fan, but it's really really hard. Like we just have to live with it. Unfortunately, look, that is really it for our ruck report this week. Only 5 games heading into State of Origin Game 3 on Wednesday, which will be awesome. Of course, Boxy will be going for Queensland. I'm going for the Blues. Should be a fantastic game. But this will be available on YouTube too if you haven't heard it. Rugby League Therapy Podcast, a bit of a technical question, but I believe kicking is dead. Kicking it dead is just as bad as kicking a 40-20 is good. Yeah, look, kicking it dead is not good because they get a 7 tackle set. So, um, yeah, so I sort of agree in that sense there. And then Mick makes art, of course, our good social media guy. He said 2 wins in a row for Manly, but when we return from the bye, they will be truly tested with Storm then Dogs. Oh, mate, easy wins. Hey, Manly 4 in a row. Can't wait to see it. And then Luke Melbourne Storm fan said Queensland 1-12. Bring it on. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. That's Boxy. I'm the Prophet. Wherever you are, be good.
Be good.